All right, so listen, selling a home in 2026 is not the same as selling a home 5 years ago. Buyers are more cautious, insurance matters more, interest rates still affects affordability, and pricing mistakes are punished faster than ever. And here's the problem. Most sellers don't realize that they made that mistake until their home has already been sitting on the market for weeks with low activity. We see this all the time, no offers, and buyers are starting to wonder what is wrong with it. So in this video, we're going to walk you through the entire home selling process from start to finish, from preparing the home to pricing it correctly, launching it properly, negotiating the offers, getting through inspections, getting through appraisals, closing, and finally handing over the keys. We have like a monopoly board for you of those things. Again, we've created this simple seller roadmap graphic for this video, almost like an advent calendar for selling your home, I'd say. You can follow it step by step so you always know what comes next and what you should focus on. So listen, if you're thinking about selling your home in 2026, this video you should watch before you do anything else. Hey there, if you're new to the channel, you want to learn everything there is to know about living in Smyrna Beach and surrounding areas like Ormond Beach, Daytona Beach Shores, Ponce Inlet, Port Orange, or Edgewater, then you have come to the right place. My name is Matt Ekoff. I'm joined by my beautiful wife, Rachel Ekoff. And I'm also joined by my beautiful partner, Natalia. We are here to share everything from the best neighborhoods to the hottest spots around town. We cover everything from school zones to flood zones. Listen, we get phone calls, emails, text messages, Zoom invites every day from people just like you wanting to move to the beach. So whether that be in 2 days, 20 days, or 200 days, please don't hesitate to reach out. We'd love to help you move to the beach. And even if you're not in our area, still reach out because we can help you through the process and connect you with a strong agent in your market who actually knows what they're doing. All right, so back by popular demand, you and I did a video a couple weeks ago of the buying process, the monopoly board, advent calendar of step-by-step process from start to finish to buy a house. And so we got some really good feedback for it. So we decided to switch gears and say we're gonna do the same thing for selling a property. So we have a nice little handy dandy chart that you can follow along with, and we can send that to you if you want. So just comment below or reach out to us. You have all of our contact information. Reach out to us and we can send that to you because it really is a cool thing. It kind of tells you step by step. So we're gonna start right into it, but we'll get into step one, which is deciding why you're selling. Okay, before you talk about price, photo, or timing, you need to know why you're selling. Are you downsizing? Are you relocating? Are you moving closer to family? Are you selling an investment property? Are you trading up for something better? Are you trying to cash out while values are still strong? Because the reason you're selling affects the strategy. A seller who's already bought another home may need a different plan than the seller who says, if I sell and if I get my number. Can you tell me some of the reasons recently that we've heard about people wanting to list their property?
Recently for you, it's been some people who have aged out and it is family trust and they are looking to sell that property more quickly rather than holding on to it because it's
you got several siblings that live spread out throughout the country, or maybe other countries, and want to sell it fast and want to just get rid of it.
Windy today.
So Natalia, what's the one that we just went through a couple days ago, the listing appointment for $489,000? What was his motivation?
Well, he's a flipper, so he was trying to flip it and sell it quick and make some money off
and capitalize as quick as possible. And so the strategy is different depending on the approach. We're sitting at 202 South Atlantic Avenue right now, which is listed for $3.3 million with me. And we're here today because we had inspections and we had appraisals because we're under contract. This one went under contract in 31 days. I mean, it's a buyer's market, but if you have, thank you. I'm pretty good at this job. We had an offer in 31 days. And so although it was $3.3 million and it's a buyer's market, the right kind of house at the right price sells. Price fixes everything. We talk about that all the time. So again, you need to be honest from the beginning. Why are you selling the property? That is step one.
It gives us the best way to strategize on how to sell it.
Absolutely.
All right, we're moving on to square two.
Square two.
Move your piece over.
Okay, so what is square two?
Get a real valuation, not a fantasy number for your property.
Look, I say it all the time. If you've ever watched my videos, if you've ever spent any time with me, nobody thinks their kid is ugly. Okay, that's unfortunate because I tell you what, they're not all beautiful kids. Our kid is beautiful.
Our kid is beautiful.
Our kid is beautiful, but not all kids are beautiful, and not all houses are beautiful. And so, it's not just step two. It's not just get a real valuation, but not a fantasy number because fantasy doesn't exist in real estate. It does, but then you sit on the market forever and you give buyers total control. So this is where a lot of sellers get in trouble. They look at Zillow, hear what the neighbor sold for, add money because they love their home and it's special and their kid's not ugly, and then they list it too high. But buyers don't care what you need, they care what the market supports.
What should a real valuation look like?
That's going to look like, recent sold comps. What did your neighbors sell for? That's going to look like active competition. What are your neighbors actively selling for? What's pending? How many days on market are things sitting? Price reduction, the condition of the home, the location, the lot size. The views are a big deal, especially in New Smyrna Beach. And what are the rental potential if it's applicable?
Yeah, so short-term rental zone versus long-term rental zone for investments is a big deal. Again, we're sitting here at 202 South Atlantic Avenue, which is a unicorn of a house because it's 7-bedroom, 5.5 baths in short-term rental zone. But if this exact house was just 3 blocks on the other side of Flagler Avenue, you wouldn't be able to do the same thing as it does right now.
Not
So
the same at all.
all of these things, and also including what updates are in the home. In Coastal Volusia County, this is hyper local too. So New Smyrna Beach doesn't have to behave exactly like Port Orange, and it's not going to. Ponce Inlet doesn't behave exactly like Daytona Beach. North Beach even doesn't behave exactly like Venetian Bay. We have different markets in different areas, so it's very hyper focused.
Just Island,
Local.
Beachside alone doesn't behave like it's neighboring, like a few streets over.
Yep.
So you've really got to know.
Versus South Beach, 2 totally different markets.
100%. A beachside short-term property does not behave as a mainland primary residence or even as North Beach. It doesn't. Again, we can have this exact same beautiful home sitting just 3 blocks away from us right now that I could probably throw a baseball to because I'm a really good baseball player. Probably throw a baseball 3 blocks that direction, and if this house was there, it would be the same thing. So when someone says the market is up or the market is down, the better question is where specifically and what type of property you're talking about.
Board square 3.
Board square 3. Step 3, price it right from day 1. This is uber important. So I will tell you for me, in 2025, I averaged 73 days on market from the day that I listed to the day that we closed. The average in New Smyrna Beach was 98 days. We're up this year to 122 days. But there are some of the biggest agents in town, listing agents in town, some that you see all over the place, some that you see on every single bus stop, some that you see on benches, some that you see everywhere that average 197 days or 213 days. And those are not made up numbers, those are real numbers. So they're more concentrated on the advertising space for that sign than they are on selling the house. So the best time to get attention for your listing is when it first hits the market. That first week matters. That's when buyers get alerts. That's when agents get notices, and that's when your listing feels fresh. If you overprice it, you can lose that momentum.
Oh, I totally agree with that. I think pricing it right from the beginning and getting that traction right from the get-go is what you need.
You have to. I mean, we're taking on a listing in just a couple days. The guy will sign a listing agreement today. That's been on the market for 626 days.
626 days. That's wild.
And it's a great home. It didn't have the right marketing at the beginning, and then it just sat there. If it's overpriced, you lose the momentum, and then the home sits.
It becomes stale, that listing stale.
Yeah, and the buyers start asking, why hasn't this sold? And then they start skipping over. They're like, 300 days, 400 days, 500 days.
They also
There's
assume
something
something's wrong with it. Yeah, that's the first thought that comes to mind is, why is this sitting here?
So all those things happen, and what happens? The buyers gain leverage. I love buyers. If I'm representing you as a buyer, then this is good for us. We want this. But if you're a seller and I'm the listing agent, we don't want it. I don't want you to mess my numbers up. 73 days average on market is good. I watch those things. So if I'm at 200 days for you because you don't think your kid's ugly, then that's not very nice. You're not being very nice to me. So this doesn't mean give your house away. I'm not saying that. This means that you price it in a way that creates activity. So listen, this is important. No showing usually means the market is rejecting the price. Showings with no offers usually means the market is rejecting either the price, condition, or both. I have 1422 North Atlantic. You guys have both seen it. You guys both know Christine.
Yeah.
Love the house. Tons of showings. I mean, multiple showings a week, every week. That's great. 0 offers in 222 days.
And why do you think that is?
It's probably the price.
Probably the price.
Probably
It has to be.
everything.
Because if there's no showings at all, then the market's rejecting the price completely. If there are showings, but then no offers, then it's probably the price, the condition, or maybe a little bit of both. And in this case, it was a little bit of both. All right, so let's get to step 4. What do you say?
Square
Square 4 of the board.
What's square
Natalia, what's square 4 of the board?
Prepare the home before you get photos taken.
Okay.
Oh,
You have to have clean photos. You have to have nice photos. It's so much easier when a photo is bright, the house is clean, the counters are clean, the bathroom's mostly empty, to imagine your own stuff in there. And that's the first impression. And you know, it's a saying for a reason. First impressions are really important. And the photos are always going to be a person's first impression in the house.
yep. So start decluttering. Countertop should be mostly clear. Bathroom vanity should be clear. Closet should be thinned out as much as you can. If you live in the home, we understand. Cords, personal item, excess furniture, visual clutter should all be reduced. This is a step that a lot of sellers love to skip, and it ends up costing them money because they don't declutter and people can't see themselves in the spot. The goal is simple: make the home feel bigger, cleaner, and easy for people to buy. Okay, this means clean everything. You are a big cleaner around our house, you know, and tell me some of the things that you notice with buyers, because you dealt with this with Gabby and Andrew not even that long ago. Talk about some of the things that have to be clean.
Baseboards, fan blades, scuffs on the walls, scuffs on doors, windows, mirrors, garage, entryway. You're talking about basically
Inside the
if
oven,
you
that was
had-
something specifically that you brought up.
Yes. Basically, you want your house to be cleaned the way that you would want a maid or somebody to come in and clean it, right? And then little things like the inside of the oven, I think is a huge thing that people overlook, because you're forgetting that when people walk through that home, they open your oven, they
do.
open your microwave,
Yep.
they open their buyers are nosy, and they're nosy because they're looking to purchase your property. So you want to put your best foot forward, just make sure everything's decluttered and clean, and then you're gonna have better showings, you're gonna have better pictures, you're gonna have better presentation all the way around.
Because listen, buyers buy emotionally, but they inspect logically.
They do.
Yeah, if the home feels neglected, they start wondering what else has been neglected.
So Natalia and I were actually showing properties, and we went to one we were in Port Orange. And what did you notice immediately when we walked in that door? How did you feel about that home? They knew we were coming.
Yeah, they knew we were coming. It was hot that they had turned all the power off in the house. Everything. No water, no AC, nothing. And you could tell that they had done it a while ago and it had sat like that. Not to mention there were scuffs on the walls. The wood floor was buckling. We went out to the pool, which was well maintained, and it was half drained and dirty. So I mean, all these things are things that you might not think as the homeowner are important. You have to think when people are coming into your house, they're looking at your house and thinking, this is who this person is. They're
Yes.
judging you from your house. So if you are, the way that you present your house, you gotta think, would I be comfortable with someone judging what kind of person I am based off of how my home looks right now?
You know what? That's not just the seller's fault, but that's the listing agent. That's absolutely ridiculous on the listing agent part. So, all right, let's get through this. Let's go into step number 5,
Step 5.
which is fix the small stuff that creates big doubt. I want to just go through this quickly, and this is a huge topic. But like a loose doorknob, a dirty air vent, a scuffed up wall, like we had already said, you know, sticking door, burned out light bulb. I see this all the time. It's like so stupid. Just go replace the light bulb.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And get all of the same light bulbs. Spend $120 and get all LED that are the same color and put those around the house. It just doesn't
Not
make
yellow and white.
sense.
And
Yes. The cracked outlet cover on the wall. They start thinking, if this is what I can see, what can I see?
Very
So
true.
before listing, fix these easy things, okay? Touch up paint, replace light bulb. God, please replace the light bulb. Please replace the light bulbs.
All the same light bulbs.
Yes, all the
Always
same
the
light
same.
bulb. Clean and replace AC vents. Fix loose handles. Clean the grout if you can. Service the HVAC, please. Replace old filters. Pressure wash if you need to. Freshen landscaping. And keep the front door area clean of
Front
clutter.
door area needs to be clean.
It's the first
and
impression.
It's your first impression. Major point to hit.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, so let's move on to square number 6. We're getting around the board.
Square-
Make the home smell clean, not perfumed. There's a difference between over perfuming a home and it just smelling like cleaning products.
Yeah, look, smells are emotional. They're big time emotional. So this sounds small, but it really, really matters. Buyers notice smells immediately. And again, it's an emotional thing for them. So pet smell, mildew smell, musty smell,
Smoking
smoke
smell.
smell, old food smell. It all affects the way the buyers feel, and we need them to feel welcome into the home. Okay, you don't want to cover odor with heavy perfume or sprays. You want the home to smell clean. Open the windows when possible, replace the filters, clean soft surfaces, wash pet beds if you can, remove litter boxes. I cannot tell you, when I see a litter box out in the open at a showing with cat poop in it,
Is that a pet
right there.
of yours?
That was good.
Sorry.
That was good. Yeah, it drives me crazy. It drives me crazy. And honestly, it's sometimes not the seller's fault because they don't know, but lots of times this stuff is the listing agent's fault. So keep it simple. Clean beats artificial every time. We're working our way through. Let's get into step number 7, which is consider pre-listing inspection. Now, this is for the big players. This is for the smarter moves, one of the smartest moves that a seller can make, especially in 2026. And something that I encourage is get the pre-listing inspection. We did a pre-listing inspection here today.
Absolutely.
And the inspector, although this is a 4,200 square foot home with an ADU out back, huge 7-bedroom, 5.5 bath, the inspector wasn't here for that long. And he came and told us the small things that he had on the list because we did this first. The pre-listing inspection helps you find issues before the buyer does. And don't you want to be proactive? That gives you control. You can fix items up front, disclose properly, gather receipts, and reduce surprises during the buyer's inspection period. This is a huge thing. Now,
why would you suggest somebody to do this pre-inspection, fix all these things, if I feel like a lot of sellers are like, oh, well, it's gonna get inspected and I'll fix it then? Why would you want to? Why would you want to do it now?
Why would you want, like, let's say the bigger things. Let's say it's an electrical problem, or let's say it's a plumbing leak or something like that. Why would you want to be proactive and just fix that so you don't see that on the inspection? Because we don't know what's going to trigger a buyer. We don't know that they're like, oh, my ceiling fell in last year from a plumbing leak, and so I can't have any leaks in the home, like,
because it scares people.
But
also, I was questioning you for that is because you want to know those things beforehand, because you don't want to give that buyer negotiating power.
Of course, you don't want to give them negotiating power. Yeah, I mean look, something's going to come up with an inspection, whether you get a pre-inspection or not.
Yes.
I mean, there is no such thing as a perfect inspection. Things are going to come up, but not every seller needs one, let's be honest. But if the home is older, if it's beachside with saltwater corrosion, if it has an older roof, older electrical, older plumbing, or potential insurance concerns, they can be very helpful to do this up front. And if you're following along with the seller roadmap graphic, this is one of those steps that can save you stress later on. Handle the problems before they become negotiating weapons, because that's what they become.
All right, we are on square 8, and it is launched with professional marketing. Do professional marketing.
No, so listen, photos are not optional. Bad photos can kill a listing. Your first showing is online, right? That's the first time people decide, is this something I'm going to maybe have an interest in? Buyers are scrolling quickly, and if the photos are dark, if they're crooked, if they're cluttered, or they don't tell the story of the home, they may never even schedule the showing. Okay, a strong launch should include professional photography, strong listing description, this is important, video when appropriate. So if you're close to the beach, you're close to Flagler, you're close to Canal, that video showing where you're located is super big. Social media exposure, because everybody's spending time on social media.
Agreed.
Email marketing, YouTube exposure, wink wink, agent to agent promotions like Brokers Open. We had a Brokers Open here and it poured down freaking rain. Our DJ had to move from outside to inside, and we still had 60, 70 agents come by and see. We had a lot of interested parties. We wanted to contract a day later to somebody else, but nevertheless, Brokers Opens are huge. Open house strategy when it makes sense, if it's in the right area, and clean lifestyle positioning. In our market, lifestyle is everything. It's everything. That's what people are buying here.
Yes.
People are not just buying bedrooms and bathrooms. They're buying beach access, boating, golf cart lifestyle, walkability, restaurants, investment potential, sunsets, pools, and the feeling of living there. All right, Natalia, I'm going to let you take step number 9 because you've been in a lot of showings recently, so hit it.
All right, we're on square 9. This is manage your showings and feedback. Everything that people are saying about this house is going to be important. If there's no showings, that's saying something. If there's showings and no offers, that's saying something. If if people are telling you what they don't like about the house, that's saying something. If they're not telling you what they don't like about the house, that's saying something. There's everything that people do, there's a reason behind it. So you need to listen to what that is and fight for feedback. Annoy the buyer's agent. Be like, tell me what they said.
Yep.
You want to know these things, because then you can go back to your sellers and say, here's what we need to improve on, whether that be how you're marketing it, maybe the pictures, anything along those lines.
I think that's great. And I just say the goal is not to take feedback personally, because some people do, they get real offended because it's their baby, it's their beautiful child that they think. So the goal is not to take feedback personally. The goal is to use it strategically for your advantage, because you're trying to sell, right? All right, Rachel, why don't you take
square number 10?
Yeah, why don't you take square number 10?
All right, we are at square 10. It is review offers carefully. When an offer comes in, price is important, but not the only thing that matters in that offer. So you need to look at purchase price, escrow deposits, financing type, down payment, inspection period, closing dates, seller's credits, buyer strength, personal property, lender strength, proof of funds, and approval letters. That's a huge one.
And one that you missed.
Inspection period,
and one more that you missed, appraisal terms. Because if you have a house, that has an appraisal contingency and financing you, and you're going to take it off the market, every one of these things are super, super important. Because any one of them can mess up the deal, or you can show up to the closing table and realize, oh crap, my agent missed something. So this is why it's super, super important.
We won't.
No, we
won't be missing it.
Look,
but these are things that you should definitely pay close attention.
The highest offer is not the safest offer, and a clean offer for a serious buyer may be better than a higher offer with weak terms, shaky financing, or a long inspection period. This is why it's so important to have an agent that does this and does this on a regular basis. I am so sorry if an agent only sells 4 houses a year or 5 houses a year. That is not a real estate agent. Maybe they have the license to do so, and I know people are going to be pissed off if I say this, because I think a lot of real estate agents follow our page. But if you only do 3 or 4 or 5 deals a year, you're not a real estate agent. A real estate transaction is a huge transaction. If I play tennis with somebody and I got a really big tournament coming up, and they're like, hey, how often do you play? And they're like, 4 or 5 times a year. And I'm like, holy crap, I play 4 or 5 times a week. I want to play on a tennis team with someone like me that plays 4 or 5 times a week. Not that does it 4 or 5 times a year. And that tennis tournament isn't nearly as big as a transaction of a real estate transaction. So just make sure you're using the right person to go through all these things, because it is super, super important.
One for Matt to talk about, square 11 is negotiate the deal, or negotiating without killing the deal. So this is your area of expertise.
This is my area of expertise. Negotiation is where emotion can hurt sellers. Okay, some sellers get offended by the first offer, but an offer is not an insult; it's a starting point. And I tell sellers all the time, I'd rather get an offer we reject than no offer at all.
I agree.
That's super important. At least we know something. Okay, your job is to decide whether the buyer is real, whether the terms are workable, and whether there's a path to a deal. Okay, the goal is not to win every sentence. The goal is to get the best overall outcome for everybody wins. But this can be emotional from all sides, and for me, this is where the emotion comes out completely, and this is a business transaction for me. And so whether I'm representing the buyer, if that's you, or representing the seller, if that's you, then my best interests are with you, and I'm going to fight that fight for you and for your side. So
absolutely.
Sometimes it means holding firm. Sometimes it means countering strategically. Sometimes it means giving in on a term to protect another. It's just all about the negotiating, but negotiate without killing the deal. That's a big step number 11. Okay, so listen, I'm going to take control for a minute of the next couple steps, because the girls are great and they do an excellent job showing and a lot of the other things they do, but the negotiating and the time after the negotiating is a lot me. That's where I'm focused on. So I'm gonna knock out these next couple steps. Step 12 is the inspection period. Okay, once you're under contract, the buyer usually has an inspection period, which is typically 10 to 15 days. Never, ever accept anything over 30. This is where deals are going to get shaky sometimes. The inspector is going to look at the roof, the HVAC, the electrical, the plumbing. These are the big 4 that we talk about all the time, a 4-point inspection.
Yeah.
This is called 4-point inspection. This is where buyers find out how much insurance will be, or if insurance is even attainable or not. Okay. The age of the roof. For example, the age of the roof is where deals can fall through. Also, windows, appliances, structure, termite, wood rot, water intrusion, pool, septic or well, if applicable, insurance-related items. Okay, and remember, every house has something. There's no such thing as a perfect inspection. The question is whether the issues are normal, manageable, or are they deal breakers? And this is where preparation matters. So if you do a pre-inspection, and you can handle the obvious issues before listing, then the inspection period is usually a lot smoother. All right, so step number 13 on the board is the appraisal. All right.
Bum, bum,
Bum. This is actually who has all the power. The appraiser always has all the power. I hate it because sometimes I don't like them, but I can't be mean to them because they're the appraisal and they're figuring everything out.
And we're not really involved in the appraisal process. They're an appraiser. Yeah, we're agents, and an appraiser is not biased, so they're a third party.
So if a buyer is financing, the lender is likely going to order an appraisal. Okay, the appraisal is looking at comparable sales to determine the home supports the purchase price, unless it's a DSCR loan. And if the DSCR loan were for an investment property, short-term rental, then they're looking at more of the rental income than actual sold comps in the area. Nevertheless, if the appraisal comes in at value, fantastic, no problem. If it comes in low, then there are a few options. Okay, the seller can reduce the purchase price, the buyer can bring the difference, both sides can renegotiate the deal, or depending on the contract, the buyer actually may have the ability to cancel. Because if it is an appraisal contingency written in, we talk about this as part of the contracts, then they can write that out. So this is another reason why it's super important to price it correctly from the beginning. Because if you don't price it correctly, just think about this for a second. You don't price it correctly. You price it 200,000 over. You go 200 days on the market. You finally reduce it a little bit. You pick somebody that comes in and is super excited about it, and it goes all the way. We negotiate a deal. We go under contract. We go under inspection, and the appraisal comes back $100,000 less, and then they want to renegotiate this again. You wasted all of this time. So if this is not priced right at the beginning, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare situation.
It's no good.
And now you have to go back to the market, and even worse, with a black eye. Don't do that. You used to.
We are on square 14, which is title, repairs, and closing prep.
Yeah, so while the buyer is working through the loan approval, the title company is also working behind the scenes, and they do a ton of work. Okay, this is stuff that you guys don't see, that you guys never see, but they're checking
behind the scenes.
They're checking ownership, they're checking liens, open permits, payoffs, taxes, HOA or condo information if we're buying a condo, and everything else that's needed for closing. Also, if repairs were negotiated, this is the time when those need to be completed. Keep receipts, use licensed professionals when appropriate, and don't wait until the last minute. Please don't wait till the last minute. Last minute repair drama is one of the easiest ways to create uncertainty and stress and absolutely kill the deal. Okay, we're almost done. Deep breath. Final step 15, final walkthrough and closing day. We are so close. But before closing, the buyer will usually have to do a final walkthrough the night before. You guys did a final walkthrough.
We just did a final walkthrough today. How did that go?
Great. Quick.
Great, quick. We're breathing. Everything was where it was supposed to be.
And the buyers are so excited. One of the neighbors put a new fence up, and they found out that they got a new corner of the fence, which is great. So, but look, the buyers are going to do a final walkthrough the night before or the morning of. They're checking the home, and that it's in the agreed upon condition. Repairs were completed, appliances are still there if included, and nothing major has changed. And if it did come fully furnished, those furnishings
the furnishings that were in there are there.
Yep. And then we have the closing day itself. Documents are signed, funds are wired, the transaction records, and once everything is officially complete, the keys are handed over. Here you go.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's go open the house.
And that is the finish line. Congratulations. We've got through selling your house, and we did it in less than 30 minutes. It's like Michael Scott says, look, if Home Makeover can build a whole house in 1 hour, why can't we do this? All right, so final piece of advice. If you're selling your home in 2026, probably in 2027 as well, here's the biggest advice I can give you. Don't wing it. Know your numbers. Prepare the home. Price it correctly. Launch it properly. Listen to the market. Negotiate strategically and work with people who do this every day,
like us.
Not a couple times a year. Like us. Yes, we do this all the time. We had a walkthrough today. We have a final walkthrough tomorrow. We closed on a deal last week. Yep. We're in inspection and appraisal. This is what we do full time. This is why we have the team that we have. So,
and we're so blessed that we're able to do it here, and we want to see more people move to where we are.
Absolutely, because then you become our neighbors.
We love our lifestyle.
Yes.
So listen, if you want to sell a roadmap graphic that we've been talking about and that we're following through, reach out and we'll send it to you. You have all of our information. You can literally use it like a checklist, and as you work your way through the sale, step 1, step 2, step 3, all the way to closing day. And if you're thinking about selling in New Smyrna Beach, Daytona Beach Shores, Ponce Inlet, Port Orange, Ormond, or Edgewater, or anywhere nearby, we'd be happy to help you make that smart move. And even if you're outside of our area, still reach out, because we can help you pre-qualify the right strong listing agent for your market, so you're not guessing who to trust. Okay, and if you found this helpful, please make sure that you hit the like button and subscribe so you get all the updates and notifications about New Smyrna Beach and surrounding area. Because listen, we get phone calls, emails, text messages, and Zoom invites every day from people just like you. So whether it's
2 days,
20 days,
or 200 days, don't hesitate to reach out. We'd love to help you move to the beach. Again, please make sure you hit the like button, subscribe so you get all the updates and notifications about New Smyrna Beach and surrounding areas. I said that really fast. Till next time, thanks for joining us.
Bye.